everyone, it's me again. For those who can see the tile below or above my video, it's true, I finally walked out. My last day is today of May 17th, 2022, on a Tuesday. I'm working there for 4.5 hours and I was really not okay. And I'm still not okay to this point. I have two feelings since you guys already seen my status. The thing is, for two feelings, I feel sad that I had to leave and walked out without ever saying goodbye to the people I cared about. But mostly later on, after I finish up crying and I talk it over with a nice coworker who works for Books A Million, she made me feel better. I feel really relieved that I finally left the toxic workplace because it's starting to affect my mental health and it's not really healthy for me. Not only that, it's affecting my well-being. It makes me feel separate away from the people I'm trying to reach out to, and I feel pretty ignored. And thanks to this Karen lady, she already have went way too far. And I want to say this straight up to you guys, since it's hard for me to remember to keep every red flags I document and mention about all organized and recap. I just can't take it anymore. I thought she finally had realized her actions really need to take responsibility. But the way she treated me and the way she talked to me, she's acting so unprofessional, she makes me uncomfortable. She have went way, way too far. So, for me, it's hard for me to recap and keep everything organized as a timeline. I just didn't want to feel safe with her anymore. The way she's acting and the way she's treating me, it's really unprofessional and it makes me feel extremely horrible. Nobody never realized and never believed if I say this right out loud. Last week, the reason why I got so sick, she forced me to get dehydrated on the job while I was working at the food court. But the customers is not really a big problem to me, nor the little babies or the kids. It's mostly like the big fights that almost led to a riot and almost attempted, a scrap, violent, and guns. No offense, I don't wish to trigger you guys. Karen didn't seem to care of how much she affected me, which was even worse. But it's hard for me to say, but you guys can read a little more on my descriptions down below or my journal. But right now, I want to say straight up, this discrimination and racism doesn't have any place in the workplace. And she didn't seem to know, no matter how many times I'm trying to speak up for myself, she's never going to stop to realize back. And I have to say this captain of security and so many others, they were right about her. For the last 6 months, I have never met someone just as horrible as her. Not only that she's an account manager, she turned out to be a toxic manager. Karen didn't seem to know what really affected me is because of her. Not only that she's racist and discriminative, not just to me, I'm African American Filipino, and not just because I have a learned disability. It's almost everything about me. Having an autism spectrum and social anxiety. I thought she already have stopped herself, but now she have crossed the line. She took my whole life into a next level, into a dangerous mode. Despite how hot it was inside the food court, she didn't seem to care that I got harassed on the job. And thanks to her strange new behavior first, she broke my trust. Of course, accordingly from the captain of security's his perspective, since I found out the past March, Karen turned out to be racist. And of course, the way she treated me, not just to me, but to over several people in the same job, in different shifts, that she's not being true. She's already becoming a fake worker. I know that she didn't seem to have a meeting with everyone. She never gave us a 2-week notice before our only big test. She ignored someone's well-being, and she didn't seem to care of how much she took this whole thing a bit too far as an account manager, but she turned out to be a toxic manager. It's hard for me to keep pretending this is normal. Even though she's a manager and she thinks that this is okay to discipline, that doesn't change the fact for her saying that I'm a retard. No offense to everyone. She literally have went too far taking advantage of her position excessively and darkly. All the lives she have jeopardized. All the people that she betrayed. Not just me, but everybody. The Catalan security have trusted her. Everybody have believed in her. Like whenever she's around, she act normal, but behind those closed doors, she's been acting horribly and unfairly to everybody. Not just because I'm black, African American, Filipino, along with 3 disorders, but everyone who are extremely different. Who always been friends to those who are extremely different. I had to say this. Everybody of the old timers I knew before people have come and go, they were all motivated because of her. She seemed so thrilled when she really wanted to hire more and more people to work with us, ever since the pandemic. But now, with her true side of herself came out forward, she already had becoming a traitor. She turned out to be racist and discriminative, and she didn't want to admit it to any good apples that I know. And I may not know the good apple of the supervisors for night shift. She might easily understand that. I know that nobody wouldn't believe me if I said it with my voice, because I had to say something rather than being silent. I understand that revealing everything that's been going on is wrong. But it doesn't change the fact for what she said and done. And she had to be held accountable and responsible for all what she affected me. She's not sorry for what she did. She's not sorry for what she done. Her action speaks on words already backfired into a school system that caused racism from a teacher to do that to a student. And I wish I want to believe I'm just imagining things like everyone else. But it's all true. I feel as if we all been played for fools. Everybody at my workplace were played for fools because of her. Even if she might claim that she's only joking around and I am doing something horrible, I just don't want to make many assumptions about myself while she goes off unpunished and think that she have a right to do what she wants. I'm trying my best not to cry over this, but I feel like I'm over it. But even though I never get a chance to say goodbye to the people I cared about and who knew me as a good-hearted, humble, faithful worker, it does not change the fact for what she said and done, and she must be held accountable and responsible for all of what she committed. And I have to say this. I have to tell you guys this. Discrimination and racism doesn't have any place of your home or workplace or school or anywhere. Karen did it for her silly yet twisted idea what being a leader is. She cares about her blonde hair and her fancy appearance and the bling. And she didn't seem to care of how much she affected my well-being. I have to say this right now. Nobody doesn't deserve to be mistreated unfairly. I am a human being, and nobody doesn't deserve to be mistreated the way how she treated me. I have to say this, I did the right thing for walking out, because I trust my gut and my well-being that almost got me dehydrated almost again. And she didn't care if anybody else have quit, and many of those who have known about what she did, they were right about her. And I have to say this, she's so busy thinking about crazy ways to get what she wanted, she doesn't seem to care of how much she affected all of our well-being and triggered our disorders. Even if she just can't see how amazing I am, then maybe she's not the right person for me to believe and trust in. If I don't have trust in my friends and family, we don't have anything. If we don't have faith, me and many others I knew, like all good-hearted people, we don't have anything at all. I gotta have to say this, I did the right thing. Those who knew Karen, those who heard of her, it doesn't change for what she did. And I have to say this right now, no one shouldn't be treated unfairly anymore. And I need everyone else's support and respect that we have to stop discrimination and racism from getting too far. I have to say this, we all try to do the right thing. And I did the right thing as well. And if she doesn't like the fact that she's being exposed and being documented, then it's her own fault being a liar. What she did to me was so unforgivable, horrible, and disgusting. But don't get pretty much thinking about some ways into attacking her, because I have to say, I gotta admit what one certain friend of mine from one of the art community say. I have to admit she's right that even if we attack the people that hurt us, we'll be just as low in being bullies just as they were before. I have to say is I wanted to keep all this about her private, but for those who already knew her, do not go attacking her. Like, everyone has every right to feel mad, angry, and cross with her. That doesn't change the fact for what she did have back for every part of her actions into ruin everyone's second chances of getting to know a bright person. And she already had wasted that chance of getting to know me as an amazing person I am. I have to say is she already have lied and she broke my trust and everyone's trust. I need to say this, that it's time that we need to take matters in our own hands to get her to stop and get her out of the office. I have to say this, like what a Toon and Cog can do. We gotta work together, get to know each other without compromising the other. And if that woman, Karen, if she doesn't like the fact she's being documented, and if she doesn't like the idea of how many people are getting mad at her, then her dark and angry side of herself is already at fault. And she literally have went too far with so many excessive ideas and gained what she wanted. And that's what happens even if she didn't know how many people are leaving because of the way she mistreated me. Even if she doesn't really see teamwork as part of her job, then her anger will literally have lied right behind her cog bucking teeth. No offense to the cogs from the Toontown game. All I hope right now is that I'm willing to move on. Hopefully that someday, wherever that woman is and everybody else are going to find out about her, karma's going to get to her. If she can't see how amazing everybody is and how I am, she's going to realize how horrible she is. She's going to feel awful for the rest of her life. And I thank you guys for listening to me. This is Mish, Mishka, Mish-chan, or Bernice, signing off. Okay, bye me.